What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here, goldballhunting.com. That young buck over there, the great Jeff Jacklich, and another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting podcast. What we've got for you today is another secret on the backhand volley, actually the third secret. And so I want you guys to hang in there with us to the end because I know you're going to love what you are going to discover today.
So the big question is this. How are tennis players like us who never played on the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for the victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Jeff Jacklich, and along with Brent Abel, my partner, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting.
Well, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us again. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting podcast. Again, Brent Abel here. That guy over there is Jeff Jacklich. Jeffrey, what's going on today, man?
Another beautiful day here in the Napa Valley. Coming to you live from Mobile Global headquarters.
As in, again,
GBH.
Mobile, it might be somewhere different tomorrow. You never know.
Right now, we're in the middle of harvest. Cabernet's coming off the vines, baby.
Oh, boy. Like, what are you out there in the midday kind of walking barefoot through the barrels and squishing? And Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay,
Every day.
Okay, good. Well, I hope you have good posture and balance on that. Yeah, you got to have good posture and balance on the great squishing.
Change the whole outcome of the wine that year.
Right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, it was a great year back in 72 because the guys had unbelievable balance that year. I don't know. Something about 71 year wasn't great. So, all right, guys, listen, before we get too far off course here, we want to talk about the backhand volley. Again, we kind of went through, this has been about a week we've been talking about the backhand volley. Jeff, first few days we were talking about kind of those old teaching cliches that never really worked. And that a lot of players have sort of been infected with. I was one, and I probably infected other players with teaching them the wrong stuff back in the late 70s, early 80s. My apologies if that was you. But I fortunately got to have the opportunity to get coached by Tom Stowe back in the kind of the earlier sort of mid-80s, and he really straightened me out and helped me so much with my game, not only as a player but as a coach. And then the last couple of days, we've been talking about this new course that you and I've got coming out tomorrow on Thursday, October, what's the date? That could be the 10th. That's the 10th, right? 10th. And really what we've got is a new way of looking at the backhand volley. And first day we sort of talked about the one thing, this was Monday a couple of days ago, one thing with the backhand volley that works for gold ballers that has now worked for me, I know works for you, and the way we teach it is that the very first thing you got to get squared away with is posture and balance. And if you don't have that, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Nope. And then yesterday we talked about how if you've been infected with the wrong stuff for a long time, that it's not permanent damage, that you can actually learn this new stuff. And we talked about a couple of examples yesterday. One in a group setting that I do, Mesa, Arizona, every year, which is kind of fun. And you were talking about Laura yesterday. Today, guys, what we want to talk about, the secret we want to talk about with the backhand volley is this is not like major surgery. It is new. It's something you've probably never, ever been taught before. But this is not like major surgery where it takes months and months and months to get. There's really kind of a simple process, Jeff, starting with what? Starting with if we don't get you guys on balance, posturability.
Posturability? The posturability of good balance?
Then nothing else matters. So, in the course, Jeff, that's what we do. I mean, that's the very first thing that we do is we got to get you on balance. So talk a little bit more about the importance of that and really how this is not major surgery. Getting on balance and posture is more just kind of an epiphany as opposed to you got to hit 1,000 in 10 tennis balls. You don't have to do that.
No. The good posture right, in tennis is what actually aligns your body to be able to perform the way it naturally wants to perform, the way the kinetic chain actually works athletically. So poor posture is what actually leads you down these rabbit trails of feeling like you have to reach and your hand gets involved and the elbow starts pointing and things start getting kind of disjointed where maybe the dysfunction of some of the terminology that you've been told, the execution of the volley becomes all these little separate parts and pieces that you're thinking to try to do. And as you know, everything in tennis has to, all we're trying to do is get our body aligned in the right framework so the kinetic chain can just work. And that's the beauty of when you see a really good tennis player,
You just brought up a really good thing I had never thought about before, but it's so true that when we are slightly off balance, excuse me, is we kind of go through that little checklist of, well, you just said the little things. Do this, this, and this. If you're on balance, if you've got the right posture, you don't seem to have to manufacture it because it feels right. The technique that what you're being taught on this backhand volley is that it feels right. So it no longer is this, I've got to manufacture it. Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Right.
It all kind of makes sense. So that's really a good point. And in terms of time, in terms of trying to help someone get that feeling of being on posture and balance, I mean, I got it from Mr. Stowe like that. Even though I had been, for years, had been going through the wrong stuff. I'd been way out in front. My upper body had been a little bit ahead of everything. I'd been off balance. And when I showed him my forehand volley, or I shouldn't say my forehand volley, but I showed him both my forehand and backhand volley, he just kind of shook his head and he just said, look, man, I mean, you're so out of whack in terms of balance on this.
Right.
And so he said, look, let's see if we can't get you in the right posture and balance. He fed me a few balls. Still, I'm lunging. I was the ultimate lunger, and he goes, no. So he brings out the stool, right? He brings out the bar stool right there in the tee and sets me into it. And just, my feet are off the court on the rungs. And the first couple of balls he feeds me, I'm still falling off the stool because I'm so far out in front.
Right.
And then the third ball, he just says, wait, W-A-I-T, wait.
Wait.
And so I waited, and I fought the feeling from lunging forward. And I'm telling you, Jeff, that first backhand volley, when I had balance, when I had posture, even though it wasn't perfect, because he said, that's the balance. Now, we got a couple things to work through here. But I just said, I can now learn what it is I want to learn, which is I want to be consistent, I want to be confident, I want to be accurate, and I want to take care of those offensive opportunities that we all get in both singles and doubles. And then after that, I mean, once I had that, then the other part, the technique part of the swing, as you talk about the framework and the contact point and the finish, it all made sense. It never made sense before.
Right.
So our effort or our job is initially, guys, is to get you on balance, to get you posture. So you have that same feeling I had with Mr. Stowe. And then the next thing is really is the technique part. Is there's two areas that are completely untapped with how to speed up, how to fast track the learning curve.
Right.
Number one is off the court. Everyone thinks, well, the only way I can learn this thing, we'll take the backhand volley, for example, is I got to be in the court every day, right, to lose it. And if I only got time to be on the court, let's say twice a week, it's kind of like, well, let's say I go out Tuesday and Friday, or I go out Wednesday and Saturday, whatever it is. It's kind of like the whole time it's just catch up. Well, what was I doing on 3 days ago? And so there's this. So why don't you tee us up with the first untapped resource that we've got for really being able to fast track the learning curve?
Rehearsal, right? Location.
So, that's right.
Location, yeah. I mean, and if you have a full length mirror at home, that's great. If the other thing that works really well, a sliding glass door, standing outside on your deck or your patio, sliding glass door. You just have a full length. Now you have instant video, full length mirror right there.
Right.
And so, once you're into the course, you're going to have these videos of Brent and myself, and you're going to be able to cue that up and kind of take a look at it. And all the way to fast track it is simply make it look aesthetically pleasing. Look at our backhand volleys, and then go, okay, so they're just doing this, and just rehearse that, and then get out on the court, have a friend grab your phone, take a few. And just the whole point here is you've got to have a new vision in your head. You've got to have the video in your head has to be clear. The clarity of what it is you're going to be doing.
So look, that's it. I mean, the two ways are, number one, at home is rehearsing and modeling and copying what Jeff and I are going to show you to do. Number one, but the other way is to take out your phone. Right? And if you don't know how to use the video function, email us and we will show you how to do it. But just go out there on those. Let's say you can only get out in the court twice a week. After you've done your rehearsing at home, one of the times, have someone just hold the phone right on its side, not up and down portrait, but you want to do landscape. Have them take 30 seconds, maybe 4 or 5 backhand volleys, and then just go on with the rest of the day with whatever you're going to do with that day of tennis. But go home. And now start to look at what you're doing. Look at the videos that Jeff and I have got in the course. And just start looking at what differences do you see. Is the posture and balance pretty close? Could be, because you've been rehearsing that posture and balance, right?
Right.
Is the framework the same? Could be. Maybe the contact point's still a little bit too far in front. I don't know. It could be something. But if you want to fast track it where you're not having to depend on just being on the court to learn this thing, then those are the two ways that you can do it. So guys, look, tomorrow we are going to invite you to get into this new course. And it's not only a new course, but it's a new way of looking at the backhand volley. And we've got really kind of a juicy offer that we want you to take a look at. The price is like ridiculously low. So that's not a deterrent for not getting into the course. But listen, guys, for sure, tomorrow's Thursday, October 10th. We're going to open up the course tomorrow. It'll be available for a few days, and then we got to shut it down because, like I said, the price is insanely low, and we can't do that forever. But in the meantime, Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review, and you know what? Share us. Like, not just the share button, but share us. Like you're on your device right now, goldballhunting.com. Send it to a friend who maybe your doubles partner, then you want them to be getting better. Send it to them.
Yes. Send it to them and say, look, there's a new course coming out on the backhand volley. I think we need some help. So why don't you go ahead and send that to your doubles partner. Outstanding. Guys, with that, get out there today wherever you are. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, let's do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.